with all of this wild sharing here, let's have, since we have a heavy audience participation here tonight, let's just take, we have an evenly divided crowd. How many people here tonight believe that you currently get the health care that you need? Okay, so what we're hearing tonight is that, honestly, and this goes against every public opinion survey, every market research survey, every survey ever done, most Americans are highly satisfied, about 80%, with their own health care. They are. So let me take the other one. How many people here are dissatisfied with your own medical care for you and your families? And
Michael, we're getting down in the weeds.
No,
here.
we're not.
You know,
What's bizarre to me is for those people, and it seems to be a majority of both sides of the aisle, who are personally satisfied with the medical care they receive, it comes back to the same question. It's not a question of people getting the care that they need before they urinate blood, Tom. The question really is
actually, yes,
how you pay for it. And the notion that suddenly government is going to take over 14% of the U.S. economy and it's going to be cheaper and better and easier is a notion that is easily rebutted the next time you go to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
No, it's a notion that's easily demonstrated by going to any industrialized country in the world. Michael, you just
any restaurant? Did you say
Come on, Michael.
No, I'm sorry.
Know
you said
that
anywhere?
That every industrialized country in the world has a national health care system of some sort, and virtually all of them are delivering more efficient medicine at a lower cost than ours. Obviously, some of them have some problems. We have some problems too.
Okay.
I think, but this is an issue that we need to resolve, and to take it back to the biggest picture, which is where I started, and I think this is where you and I, in particular, I think need to have these kind of conversations in public and draw people in, is where do the commons begin and end? If we all agree on, I'm going to pay to save your house, if we all agree on, I'm going to pay to make sure that if somebody tries to mug you, that there's going to be somebody there to stop them, are we all going to agree that if you're ill and you don't have the means to pay for it, that we're all going to participate in that?
Okay, Tom, let me ask you a question. And again, this is to draw you in as
This
you're
is the question
suggesting.
I just asked you, Michael.
Okay,
will
Tom,
you agree that we should all participate in paying for the health care of somebody who is ill and cannot afford to pay for it?
We do. That's America today.
No, we don't.
Oh, yes, we do.
We only do when it becomes critical. As I said, if you show up at a hospital with a condition which very well may be deadly,
let's go back
they will send you away
Let's
if you're
go
not
back
bleeding.
to your fire department and your house analogy. Where you and I agree is that fire
No, you haven't answered my question, Michael.
I'm answering your question, Tom.
Tom,
I'm answering your question. I would agree with you emphatically that it is appropriate for us to use public resources to protect someone's house if it's burning down. It is not appropriate to use public resources to replace the house if the homeowner didn't buy insurance.
Now I'm really baffled because, to the best of my knowledge, I was not advocating cryogenic freezing of people like Walt Disney or some kind of reincarnation. After somebody's dead, they're dead. After the house is burned down, the house is burned down. That's not the point. The point is, if we are an us in the United States, and this is the primary cleavage, frankly, between conservatives and liberals, and we should, we need to own up to it, is that the conservative ideal, the conservative perspective, is that people are fundamentally evil, and and hey, it's the story of Adam and Eve. It's original sin. I'm not saying this to trash anybody. This is that people are fundamentally evil, and as Madison said, if we were angels, we wouldn't need government. That people are fundamentally evil, and so we need to find the good among us and have them govern. The liberal idea that came out of the Enlightenment that informed some of the founders, but not all of them, is that people are fundamentally good, and the majority of the people should be participating in governance, and that there shouldn't be a governing elite. And this debate continues to this day. And this out of this comes all these arguments about war and peace that we've been having. You know, do you negotiate with terrorists? What's the best way to change somebody's mind? By bombing them or by building schools? Are we a we together? Do we have health care for everybody? Or do we say, sorry, you know, yeah, it might be cancer, but it sure doesn't look like it yet. So, you know, go away and come back when you're really, really sick. You know, at all these levels, we need to get to the point where we're saying, these are our definitions of the commons, and this is our definition of the purpose of government.
Okay, again, you keep coming
30
back
seconds,
to Tom,
and then we're going to move on to
You
another
keep coming back
topic.
to the same point. The idea is, it's not a question of, is this our definition of the commons? The basic question here is, on what basis do you so emphatically trust government above any kind of private choice? I do not... Do I think insurance companies are perfect? No, I think insurance companies are often terrible and flawed. But I trust the profit motive. I do. And I'll tell you why. Because the profit motive, no one... Okay.
All right.
You want to talk about... By the way, do you know Bernie Madoff and AIG had one thing in common? They gave all their political contributions to Democrats! Barack Obama and Chris Dodd and Barney Frank all got AIG money.
There were plenty of Republicans, and I mean, you know, shall we discuss Jack Abramoff? I mean, you know,
Let's get going here. We have so much more to get to, and we're going to get to your questions as well. Michael, you said, it's my turn to ask you a question. You talked about private choice a few moments ago. One thing I would like you to comment on is the Employee Free Choice Act, something that even George McGovern has come out against. Can you please explain to us why the secret ballot is such a scary thing?
Well, obviously, what we're talking about is what is called card check, okay? And by the way, as somebody who is a member of 2 AFL-CIO-related unions and has participated in unionization elections, I honestly believe that giving people secret ballot when they're trying to determine whether or not a company is going to be able to force its members to unionize, whether the union is going to be able to force union membership, is crucial. I do not understand, other than as a corrupt political payoff to union power, how anyone could seriously argue that it is appropriate to keep in an open way, to take away this fundamental secret ballot that we've always had in this country, to take away that decision on something as important as unionization of a given labor setting.
So it sounds like you're in favor of the Employee Free Choice Act, because it also provides that if 30% of the employees say that they would like a union, that there can be a secret election, to a secret ballot for, just like it is now. And right now we already have card check. It's just that the employer can say, oh, 50% of you signed a card, screw you. That's the law right now, and this would just basically do away with the screw you part. So, you know.
It actually